Sheila, this wellness real estate is really a thing, and I'm hearing a lot. What is it? What is wellness real estate?
Well, it's interesting. I didn't know anything about wellness real estate until I started thinking about how I wanted to bring health and home together somehow. And I just Googled it. And it turns out that it was at the time, 2 years ago, $134 billion industry already. And I was like, what? The Global Wellness Institute had done a bunch of studies. And what it is that there are forward-thinking developers who are building communities that are centered on wellness and trying to create neighborhoods that support a healthy lifestyle. So instead of just building a suburban neighborhood with a community pool, they're actually putting a lot more thought into the design and bringing in amenities and features that are not only green, but that are just bringing people together, or that are centered around a community farm, or it has some aspect of wellness that people are looking for that just provides so many more benefits to the people that are living there than, just the four walls of your home. So it's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah. A health and wellness lifestyle.
Yeah. And it actually started, the first wellness lifestyle community was Serenbe in Atlanta, Georgia. And they've been so successful. People love living there. It's like this little village right outside of Atlanta. And so there's been so many new neighborhoods kind of popping up all over the country that are kind of designing after that model. And then that's what the global wellness industry calls wellness real estate. And it's grown leaps and bounds just in the past 2 years. I think last November, they said it's worth $275 billion now. So,
wow. No big surprise.
Yeah.
Living green or sustainably is about more than saving on your electric bill and doing your part to protect natural resources. It is about a safer and healthier life for you and your family without sacrificing style, quality, or budget. This is a movement to provide all of us with clean air to breathe and water to drink, safe, healthy food to eat, and places to live, and energy to run the places where we live, learn, work, and play. Join your host, Marla Esser-Close, the Green Home Coach, to learn how everyday green homes work for you, your family, and your community.
So, hey, y'all. This is Marla, the Green Home Coach, and I am so excited to introduce y'all to Sheila today from, I don't know how to actually pronounce the name of your company since it's kind of abbreviated.
WellnessRE. WellnessRE Magazine.
I keep wanting to call it WellnessRE, and then I'm like, well, that doesn't work.
The Re's for real estate. Yeah.
I like that. Re for real estate. So you started all of this because of why?
Well, to just go way back, I guess. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I've always done, my husband and I have flipped houses. And so I've had some interior design background, and I've always we've moved kind of a lot because we would fix up a home and then decide it's time to do it again. Not really because we had intentionally planned to flip a house, but that's just what ended up happening. So when my older kids started to go off to college, I thought, well, maybe I should be a real estate agent. But the funny thing is, my husband was like, they work way too much. Why don't you do something else? So I was like, okay, I'm into health and wellness. So I got a health coaching certification from IIN. And at the end of it, I was kind of like, it's still not, I don't feel like it's my calling to be a health coach. And so my family was like, well, that was a waste. And I was thinking, well, no, it's not. I'm going to bring health and home together somehow, and that was the thought. So I started researching, like I said, researched wellness real estate, and there was a whole segment of the industry. So it just really started to spark my interest. And where I came up with the magazine is I did end up getting my real estate license. And if you are a new agent, you quickly realize that there's so many real estate agents and they're all saying the same thing. And they're all number one. And the agents that have been in business for 15, 20 years, they have, every neighborhood. So how do you stand out? How do you differentiate yourself? How do you provide value? And I thought, well, I've got to, this wellness real estate thing is really, really cool. And who doesn't want to live in a community like that, that has all these extra benefits? But then I started thinking, 80% of home buyers in are buying homes that are in existing neighborhoods. They're not able to buy in a new neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So, and realtors are the in between. We're the ones that are in people's homes. We're advising them on a lot of things that have to do with the home. So why aren't we talking about this stuff? I feel like we should be the ones sharing and educate them on how to create a healthier home environment. So I just started a podcast myself, just thinking, because I was like, I'm not the expert. Maybe what I'll do is I'll interview a bunch of experts. So that's what I did. I met like wellness architects and home biologists and all sorts of really cool business people who were doing, just like yourself, who are doing some pretty amazing things in the industry. And after doing that for a few months, I thought, I'm good at design. I have a marketing background, and I could create a digital magazine and use it as a tool in my real estate business to sort of position me differently and have deeper connections with people so that they don't think of me as just someone who cares about the transaction only, but who actually cares about them and their family and helping them, live in their home in a better way so that they just feel better in their home. They're more comfortable in their home. Maybe they save money in their home. There's just so many things that are home and real estate related that you could still be talking about that keep you top of mind and show that you care. So that's how it kind of all started. And then it's a labor of love to create the magazine, but it's a lot of work. So just for me, I was like, I got to share this with other realtors or other people. So I do share it with other real estate agents and other industry professionals who want to have kind of a done for you tool.
And it's a wonderful tool.
Yeah, it talks about wellness real estate.
Well, and not just, the ones that I have read through, it's not just wellness real estate, it's wellness, it's educational, it's helpful. And
my vision was there's so many magazines and so much out there that's wellness lifestyle, right? And then there's so many home magazines that are interior design.
And nothing that crosses.
And this is healthy home. It's not healthy living per se. It is healthy living, but it's everything healthy home. So I've had people write that are about feng shui, had people write about color psychology and the rooms you create. I have an eco designer that writes for me. I have the wellness architect that writes regularly. And I have a biophilic designer who talks about plants in the home. So there's just so many different ways. It made me really think that, green homes have been around for a long time, but they really tend to focus on just, energy efficiency so much, not like, okay.
Conversation, nah.
Okay. So you need to educate me a little bit too, but I just felt like wellness is bigger than just green, right?
And it's funny because, anyway, we'll get into that. The health is the driver.
Yes.
And talking, oh my gosh, I kind of lose a little bit of patience sometimes because, Earth Day is wonderful and we need to respect this place that we live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm saying that because we're recording this in the month of Earth Day. But sometimes I feel like we get so much attention on the place that we forget that it's us that has to live here and that has to thrive here. And that's health and wellness.
Right.
That's health and wellness. And if we can't figure out why we're not feeling great, and a big part of it is our homes.
Yes. And I don't think people are making that connection. And I did go to, I went to the Integrative Institute of Nutrition, which is IIN. And what I learned is that health and wellness is not just diet and exercise. And so many people think that it's just what's on your plate. And that's what I need to do to get healthy. And there's so many other elements of things that are, off your plate that are helping you feel good or not feel good. Even if you think about a toxic work relationship or a toxic relationship you have at home, if you have that, you're not feeling good, even if you're eating salad every day and you're exercising every day. So the same with your home environment. You could have toxins in your home environment. You could have so many things around you that are just making you feel chaotic in your mind that are just detrimental to your health. And it manifests in physical discomfort. It manifests in chronic pain. It manifests, and so many people don't really, they're searching for why do they have these chronic symptoms. And it's the home environment seems to be the last place that they look.
I've seen evidence of that.
Yeah.
And so many times it's just a really unsuspecting culprit. And I think one thing that we both share is that, yes, there's a lot of challenges and things that need to be better for us to thrive as human beings. And you do need to understand the problems, the issues, the challenges that are creating this so that we can correct it. But I don't like, and I've gotten the same sense from everything that you write and read and listen to, or I've listened to of yours, is that we're not shame and blamers. We want to help people with solutions. We want to help drive change. And one of the things that I absolutely love about what you have said, I think it was in your book, is that realtors, real estate professionals have this humongous opportunity to be change agents because of exactly what you said. Y'all are at the intersection of people and their homes, and more so than anybody else.
Yeah, I agree.
Think about it. Everything else, maybe if you're building a new home or remodeling for a few months, that person might be at that space. But a good realtor will stay in touch with people because he or she wants to keep having those relationships and those transactions.
It is a mindset shift because I think for so many agents, they want to help people, but they end up sharing and educating on the transaction. Like, let me help you with this transaction. Let me tell you how to guide you through the transaction. And it's a missed opportunity to not be sharing more information about the home environment and how you can help them love the home they're in, or, get it ready for sale, or help them just be more comfortable in their home. And it's not that the agent, I think some agents feel like, well, I'm not an expert at that. I don't want to share that because
and they don't have to be.
And you don't have to be. Just surround yourself with green, and healthy home experts is what I think. Have like a tool belt of all these amazing resources so that when you do have questions and you learn from them, and that you have resources to offer your clients. And then you're staying top of mind, you're helping them, you're showing that you care. I mean, there's just so many wonderful benefits to doing it that way.
The other thing I really think we share is that helping people, especially professionals, to understand the why, the value, the benefits of things that they're talking about. So, when someone's writing a listing for a home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, located in XYZ school district, it's like, I'm sorry, that's all in the facts of the listing. Why aren't you using that listing space to share what's really special about this home? Located in a walkable community, lock it and leave it lifestyle where everything works, smart home automation. So your ventilation fans automatically go on when you leave the shower on too long. Getting to that mindset where we're talking about the benefits of homes is still kind of new, I think.
Well, I think you really just hit the nail on the head there, because people don't care about features. They do care about benefits.
Right.
And even, sales 101 is that you need to be talking about benefits, not features. But, when you become a real estate agent, you don't get a sales class. You get classes on real estate and contracts and liability and all this kind of stuff. And so unless you have a really great mentor who understands, and I don't really even consider myself a salesperson. And actually, I never wanted to be like a salesperson, but my dad, who's been a salesperson his whole life, he was like, you know what, you're the best kind of salesperson. You know why? Because you don't want to be one and you're just helping people. And so if you have that mindset that you're just trying to be their guide, you're trying to help them, and you really do focus on what they care about, not what you care about. And it's not about, when you talk about the features, especially with green homes, I mean, I think we talked about the 5 myths, right? It's like talking about features that go right over people's heads, their eyes glaze over. You can tell that they just don't even care. And so I think then a lot of agents will take that, like, homeowners don't care about green. And
builders do. Everybody that is being approached about green. I cannot tell you how much I hear that.
Yeah.
Builders and remodelers, designers, nobody's asking me for green. It's like, of course they're not asking you for green. They want healthier homes that are easier to maintain. They're going to last a long time. I mean, it's what we all want. We want a home that looks good and lasts long.
Yeah, but healthy home is a new concept. Even healthy home is a new concept. Only because of COVID, I think people are now realizing that health and home go hand in hand, right?
I would. If there was one big silver lining that came out of all of this, it would be that, because we all started to understand our homes and the importance of it in a whole new way.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Suzanne Shelton, who I sent you the article from, she's, for those of you that haven't heard this before, Suzanne Shelton is of the Shelton Group, and they do a lot of sustainability marketing and market research. But she had said at one point that our homes had become hometown instead of home base during the pandemic.
Oh,
I was like, oh, wow, that is so spot on.
yeah. Explain that a little bit further.
So hometown, where everything is, your school, your store, your work, your play, all in normally our community.
Mm-hmm.
But during the lockdowns, it all happened within our own homes, be they 600 square feet or 6,000 square feet.
Right.
And people learned how to make do because we had to have all these functions in our home. So we became hometown. Whereas in the past, we were more like home base. We dropped by home on our way to dance or to work or to play or to school or to whatever. And we would drop. I mean, it's like, remember drop zones was the big a few years ago?
Yes.
Why do we have drop zones?
Yeah, because you drop and go. And now people are turning their mudrooms into like, having a wash station in there, taking off your shoes. I mean, like doing things because you're going to be home more often and setting up a proper office where you're comfortable. And, what are you going to do with your flex space? There's so many options. You don't need maybe 5 TV rooms. Maybe you can have a room that.
Well, we're getting ready to do a little remodel, and it's driven by really more not our spiritual health, but our health as a couple. We love to cook together. Mm-hmm. And our kitchen is not, pardon my phrase, y'all, a 2-back kitchen.
Yeah.
So we're like always running into each other. And it's like, okay, so we looked at, can we get a house? No. Could we build a house? Yes. But we're talking, at best 9 months to a year. Yeah. And the hot time to sell our house is right now. I got 3 offers yesterday out of the blue, or no, 2, sorry. Out of the blue. We want to buy your house.
Where would you go? Where would you go?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo. I'm not living with, the apartment for my mom.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So, you're kind of, and I think a lot of people feel this way right now.
Yeah.
If you need to do something somewhat quickly, your options are a lot more limited right now. Mm-hmm. And, houses are still flying off the transaction list very quickly. But thinking very intentional. And this was one of the things we had some things where we were at home a lot, even before COVID. So we had a 1.5 head start on all y'all. And during that 1.5, we were dealing with a lot of medical problems with my husband. And so it was mainly just me or him. It wasn't, days he felt good, he was in the kitchen or he was wandering around the house. Days he didn't, I was. And then during COVID, we started doing all this stuff together. And it was like, oh, this isn't working the way we thought it would. Mm-hmm. Want to find and sell the value of green homes and features in your clients' projects and homes? I'm Marla Close, the Green Home Coach, and I have built What Makes a Green Home Green audio program just for you. This program offers an easy-to-understand language, audio trainings that are easy to consume on the go, with resource guides to help you absorb the information and reference it easily in your day-to-day activity. Your investment in this green home knowledge could unlock thousands of dollars more in business for your home projects. Check out What Makes a Green Home Green and how it will help you find and sell the value of green homes and features in your clients' projects and homes. greenhomecoach.com/homepro. So I think a lot of people I've talked to have had similar reactions, and that mental health, how well your home takes care of you is really an important part that we really hadn't thought about very well, I don't think. And I think we're doing a little better at getting that now.
Yes. And so I do think what a wonderful opportunity to start sharing. I mean, just even the wellness architect that writes for me all the time in my magazine, Kate Hamblett. I don't know if you know who she is, Balanced Architecture, but she talks about a wellness kitchen. What's in a wellness kitchen? And a wellness kitchen has room for 2 cooks.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I did not, but that makes so much sense.
Yes. We have social people. It's so much more fun to cook with someone else than it is to cook with one, be one person cooking for everybody. So a wellness kitchen has lots of different aspects, but I remember it's a 2-person kitchen, or at least space for 2 people to cut. You don't have to have the 2 sinks in a giant kitchen, but you could have it laid out a little more functionally so people aren't running into each other. Yeah. And, the pantry can be set up in a way so that you're putting your healthy food at eye level, stuff like that. And she has materials and stuff. I can't remember everything, but it's so wonderful to see that all of these amazing, like healthy home experts are putting information out there to just bring awareness and help people live healthier lives and create a healthier space for them that's going to be more supportive for them and their families so they can thrive at home.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you recommend to people that they start with to make their home healthier?
Well, as a real estate agent, I think just going into a house, it's the declutter a home. Yeah. If you can just declutter your home and make space feel clean and, tidy right when you walk in, and your bedroom space, so that when you wake up and when you come home, like you don't feel the chaos. Oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. It's such a simple thing. And I think that we think we'll get to it later, but it's really overwhelming for your nervous system and your brain to constantly be walking into a cluttered, chaotic space that's messy all the time. So that's a super easy thing to do. And if you're ever going to sell your house,
you got to do it anyway.
You got to do it anyways. Like pre-move, like pack away some of your stuff and get ready to do that, because
we're getting some of that right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be the number one. The other thing would be, make sure that you're changing your air filtration. Air quality is so important. So I do think check that, make sure you're getting proper ventilation in your home, make sure that you're changing those filters out. And if you have a really old system, I know that sometimes people are like, God, I hate spending money on the stuff behind the walls, the stuff that people can't see, right? I'd much rather buy a new couch than I would buy a new HVAC system. But you're going to save money on your utility bills. You don't realize how we want to breathe clean air. And, and that can make a difference, especially if you have someone that has asthma at your house. Like you should, get those checked. And their technology changes all the time. So the HVAC systems that they have now versus the one in your 20, 30-year-old home, it's time to probably replace that. You'll feel better.
Right.
And then the third thing to have a healthy home is water quality. I would get a home water filtration system, or at least something, at the sink so that your drinkable water is.
I have two pictures because I don't like the taste out of the one that gets all the solids out. So I pour it through my other one so it tastes better.
Yes. Well, I don't know if I told you that I'm drinking more water. I actually am all excited because there's this company called, it's Kanga water, but it's, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's ionized water. It's alkaline ionized water. So it's got like live oxygen or something. And it's supposed to be really good for your cells. I totally want to buy the equipment, but right now I'm not. I'm going to the place. She'll let me fill it up, every time I go.
Right.
So what's great is it tastes great. And I know that it's going to help me, heal what I have going on in my body, and just drinking. It helps me pay attention to how much water I'm drinking. So drinking good, clean water is good for you. It flushes out the toxins that you're exposed to all the time. So those would probably be my top three.
Okay.
But, alternative things that people don't really realize is like the color in your space. I know everybody says paint your home totally white, but it feels like a doctor's office if it's too white of a white.
Oh, I need color.
Yeah. And I do like a white house, believe me, but there's, hundreds of different whites. And if you choose the wrong one, it can, so don't pick a white just because someone tells you that that's the right color. You got to check with your floors, because you could open a can of worms, paint the wrong white, and then all of a sudden now it looks like, oh gosh, now I got to replace all the floors and the cabinets and everything else.
Oh, and while you're painting, choose a better paint.
Yes. A low or no VOC paint for sure. If you're smelling something when they're painting it, that's toxic fumes.
I tell everybody, if you're going to tell a client to repaint their home anyway, and they repaint with low or no VOC paint, you automatically have a health benefit right there.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think every time I have sold or bought a place, I have been told to repaint.
Yeah. Well, but it's so important. If you are good with color and stuff and you can help your client, I mean, that's a huge advantage because you don't want them to pick the wrong color. But even just, I have a color psychology specialist that sometimes writes for my magazine too. And she says color is like medicine. And she had seasonal affective disorder for many years. And then she just changed the colors in her house and all of a sudden her mood started to change. I mean, it really can
I might need her color chart.
Yeah, influence the behaviors and the moods and stuff of people. And so if you just go with what's on trend, or you pick a color because, you like the color, it's fine. It might be overwhelming for your system. Like you don't want to have a red bedroom, for instance.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of energy. So, calming colors in calming spaces, if it's a vibrant, if you want to have like yellow, let's say in your kitchen, you probably don't need to paint a whole wall yellow, but you could have some yellow accents. That's going to make you feel happier. And you just, talk to an eco designer too, right? And somebody or a color specialist that can help you with that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
All very good ideas. So you also wrote a book recently. Tell us a little bit about that.
I did. It's intentionally short. It's a quick read. And really, I just wrote it because I want to inspire. It's meant for real estate agents or real estate professionals just to learn about what wellness real estate is. I have a whole list of different wellness communities in there. And I think I need to add to it and put some of these, these wellness professionals in a directory or something in it. I think that would make it better.
And both of my states had a wellness community. I was so excited.
Yes, that's what's interesting is there are so many like neighborhoods and different wellness communities popping up all over the country. So I have a list in there, but it's really just kind of an overview of what wellness real estate is and how you as an industry professional can learn about it. And I hope it inspires them to just start sharing this information with their audience so that they can, have deeper relationships with the people that they're already. I mean, when I first started as a real estate agent, my manager said, okay, well, reach out to your whole sphere of people that and start asking for referrals. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do that. Like, I can't just call my
cold calling.
I know. And I certainly am not going to go ask my friends for a referral when I just started, right? Like they know I just started and I want to do a good job for them. And so what kind of value am I going to provide first, right? And so I know that that's a huge, barrier for people is they don't want to ask. So then you have secret agents. So I talk about that in my book a little bit, right? There's all these secret real estate agents who don't want to be salespeople and but of course they want to sell homes. So they, join all these memberships and join all these clubs and they're very active socially because they want to network and meet lots of people. And they have all these great friends, but many of their acquaintances don't even know that they're agents because they never talk about it. They do rarely post about it in their social media. So, why would they call you if they need an agent, right? So you do need to talk about it a little bit. So how can you talk about real estate and be top of mind in a kind of like, kind of a stealthy way, not like in a, just in a more subtle way, right? It's to talk about wellness real estate. It's a new trend. It's like, it's something everybody cares about right now, especially because it's about a healthy home. You're learning about different communities that are popping up all over. You're surrounding yourself and networking yourself with other healthy home experts. And it just gives you a talking point so that when you're having a conversation with someone, you can be bringing up real estate without really bringing up your listing or your open house or just being so let's talk about the market right now, And then it also positions you as this industry expert that's different, so that, so if my house has solar, if I want to sell my house, I might call Sheila because she understands about solar and she might be able to, talk about it. I mean, I did have a listing where the homeowner was a health coach. She had a whole house water filtration system. She had solar. I got it certified. She had cleaned the house with non-toxic cleaners because she was very into that. She had a non-toxic pest service too. And so I marketed that as one of the healthier homes in the city, right? And I talked all about those benefits and wouldn't it be nice if you can, live in a home that just feels good and just, is safe for your family. And a family with a brand new baby bought it. They loved it. And we got multiple offers. I know that this is seller's market, but this was the first home in the whole neighborhood to sell for $1 million, which,
oh, wow.
Which was awesome. And there were several, like 5 other homes at the time for sale at the same time. This one sold the quickest and for the most money. So people care about health and wellness. And if you talk about the benefits, it's good.
Right. And I loved how you talked about kind of the progression of a healthier home up to a wellness home. And whereas wellness was really more proactive, whereas health was kind of what I would term more, not reactive, but things that we need on a more periodic basis, whereas wellness was reaching beyond that. I really liked that.
Yes, I do. I mean, I think, a healthy home, we all want to live in a healthy space. And I think
we all should live in a healthy space. And it has to, I hesitate to use the word healthy in my practice simply because there's no way to define it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no, these things equal a healthy home. Just like there's no way to say there's what a green home is. Green certified home. Absolutely.
Yes.
There are some health certifications though, too, aren't there?
Well,
wellness.
I mean, a healthy home is, I have 8 or 10 elements that are a healthy home. Yeah. And I have to look at the list. But
and actually, I think those are from the HUD Healthy Home website, or they're very
simple. I mean, I did so much research and I tried to, come up with my own, to see what they are. But basically, I mean, I kind of combined some lists because sometimes they're shorter and, you'd have to have a well-maintained home. You want to have a well-ventilated home. You want to have a home that's, I think some of the things I added was you want to have a well-lit home because you want to have it that's safe.
So much safety.
You want to have a safe home. You want to have a pest-free home. So there's a lot of elements that just go into having a healthy home that, if you're building a new house and it's built to code, it's going to be a healthier home. But if you're living in an older home, you might want to know some of these things so you can, maintain it and make sure that it's maybe not up to code, but that you're living in a healthier space. So check your air quality, check your water quality, make sure that it's well ventilated. If you have if it's drafty and you're having to run your heat or your AC really hard, maybe you have poor insulation, or maybe you're, you have,
or just poor air sealing and it's drafting and blowing through. But you're in Oklahoma.
Yes. And then, but what I thought as a wellness house, I felt like that's kind of like an upgrade, where people are starting to put in kind of spa amenities that you can have this, like an exercise room or an infrared sauna, or, if you have a pool or if you have any sport courts, those are amenities that keep you active, that are awesome. And they help you lead a healthier lifestyle, right? And a lot of people have those in their homes. What I think is interesting is I wonder if there's going to be a new trend with, how there's all these builders build flex spaces, so you can do whatever you want. And for a lot of people, they'd be spaces that are just an extra TV room. But now that people are trying to be more active, I wonder if they're going to create more meditation spaces or workout spaces or,
could be
rehab spaces, or just you can stretch there and work out, and maybe put an infrared sauna or something, just so that it's more of a healthy space.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you are working in the space, and I think there's such huge opportunity for real estate professionals to be change agents. And I'm cheering you on. And
thank you.
I'm going to do everything I can to help that go, because that is such an important place for us to be. And homes are such a big part of our life.
Mm-hmm.
You really want it to function well and take care of you. And I think when I bought my first house, I didn't think so much about how much I would need to take care of it. And I bought an older home when I was single, and it was hard to keep up with all the maintenance that was required for it.
Yeah. And so wouldn't it have been helpful if your agent was like, hey, here's 2 options that you're looking at. This is going to require this, and this is going to require this. But hey, you love that old house. You love the style of it, how it's historic or whatever. That's great. These are things you can do to make it healthier, And I just think there's not a downside with educating and sharing this information.
I agree.
And it positions you as a leader and a forward thinker, which is also awesome. And,
and a problem solver. Who doesn't want a problem solver to be helping you to find a way to have a better life?
Yeah. And I do think, It's not, I mean, realtors you don't have to be a realtor to share this information too. If you have a business that is, in the industry somehow, you could be in lending or mortgage, or you could be a builder or an eco designer. I do have a member who's an eco designer. And I was like, oh, here I am thinking it's just Asians. And she's like, no, I want to, share this information with my audience also. And I like to network with, agents too. So if you're in this industry and you are already sharing this information, check out my magazine, because it just could be something that you can share as well. It's
a wonderful way to reach people. And I'm excited that you are getting out there and just doing it, taking action. That's what matters, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make progress.
So we will put your website and some other resources that we've mentioned during our talk in our show notes.
Okay.
And for any of you listening, you can find all those show notes on your favorite podcast app or on the Green Home Coach website. And give us some feedback. Let us know what y'all think of this.
Yes, I would love it. And it's really easy to remember anyways. If you just are interested in looking at the magazine, it's WellnessRE Mag.com. And if you're an industry professional and you want to share the magazine, it's WellnessREPro.com. And, I just did the book. And so I've just shared it with you and a few other people, but I'm going to be sharing it with my members. It is on Amazon Kindle. So you can just,
and it's in the show notes too.
Wellness Real Estate and find it.
It's in the show notes too. I put it in the shop. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Marla. I'm so excited to know you. And I know we'll be working together on lots of things.
I cannot wait. Everybody out there, have a great green day, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks.
That wraps this episode of the Everyday Green Home Podcast. Get the show notes with all the resources mentioned in this episode. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. Want more? Join the Love Your Everyday Green Home private Facebook group for more resources and behind-the-scenes insights. And remember that living a little better and greener is easier than you think.